We are now down to the final 2 movies left. Then it's all done. Before we get this Cember movie, I will say this first. I was stunned when I heard they were making 3 more sequels. That's right, 3 more after Family Vacation was out, as they stayed silent for a really long time. Which, one time I remembered, I was talking to one of my friends long ago about this franchise, and even when I told him about the 5th one, as it was the final one, then he himself told me, is all like, how do you know if it is the final one? Which it's always the same thing for anything, when it comes to assuming you think like this is the last one, but then later it's not the last one because they announce another one. All the franchises, even Toy Story 4. But back then, they did say it was gonna have just 4 and 5, and many did thought the 5th one is the last movie. But then again, after the reveal on the cover art for Dino Digs was revealed, I kind of had a feeling this was going to be bad, where they are featuring dinosaurs. I remember the movie once got leaked online before the DVD even got released. I think it was around March or April, I don't remember. But I remembered it was around that time when watching it online before they even got a DVD release for this leak. The movie opens with 65 million years ago, where we see Amy, played by Erin Fitzgerald. I apologize for pronouncing her last name. Where she runs away from a T-Rex in the middle of a rainy weather until suddenly they both got struck by a meteor. It is now present day, and we got more recolored characters driving as they arrived with the 2 humans from the previous movie, as they start digging the big hole area from the same position where the dinos were at from the meteor. But Amy later wakes up from 65 million years in the modern day. Humphrey and Kate are exploring in Wolfburbia, which is an odd name for some reason, finding a new place to stay that's around the golf course, which Humphrey says it's too perfect. Marcel and Patty arrive to see Humphrey and Kate, which they got curious to check out the new place, as well as they are actually inside a golf course cave. So Humphrey agrees to move while picking up the pups. Humphrey and the pups were not used to waking up from the Omega alarm. So Kate has to do the Alpha alarm. And then we see Humphrey is now able to stand like a human. Yeah, I was stunned when I first time seen he's quote-unquote evolving to be more anthro now, unable to run in 2 legs. They discovered a lake from the golf course, but it's a fake lake, as Humphrey can tell, even where there are plastic fishes like all golf courses have. Honestly, I never went golfing for decades, so I pretty much don't know how decorations work like that in golf courses. The pups decide to explore the woods to adventure, until later Stinky begin to find something suspicious while sniffing around, as Runt decide to climb on the tree from the position where Stinky smelled it from. So Runt checks it out, and it turns out it was Amy sitting in the tree. And Runt offers her to hang out with them, but later she began to spook them as they run away from her while she tries to accept the offer. The pups did the turn right to the left trick to make Amy blind, as she later hits the pups by sending them far and landed at the same location where she came from after the meteor. Meanwhile, Humphrey is standing again while golfing, while Marcel, Patty, and Kate are watching him first time trying. However, Humphrey hit the ball, then he accidentally angered a caribou as the ball landed on them, then begins to charge at Humphrey. Amy begins to explain the full story about what she went through, even on how did the T-Rex chase her. She later explained that the T-Rex is also awakened as well if she's awakened after being in the underground. Honestly, this is a reference to Super Robot Monkey Team Hyperforce Go from one of the episodes where Captain Sugazoom and the demon were buried underground for a very long slumber until they both got awakened in present day. The Diggers has returned to resume the digging from the hole, and the pups ask to help out Amy on get her back, so she explains the timing on how to get her back to the sacred burial. Then later the pups begins to drive the truck, which this actually got me more stunned on seeing them driving, to be honest. And then we get this scene here. This whole dancing part with the birds dancing to the fountain part. This is not a movie. This is made by a fan that makes one of those Miku Miku dance, or SFM, short for Source Filmmaker videos, that you see on YouTube or anywhere. I mean, this is the exact creative level people make these days on fan contents. Meanwhile, the Diggers explains about what happened, and the human leaves to gather more reinforcements for digging the hole. So the pups made it back to Amy, but warns her about there will be more humans. While still got time, they decide to show Amy around in the present day on exploring while they are riding on her back. Suddenly, the rogue wolves arrive in the middle of the night as they were about to attack the pups, but later Amy helps out, scaring them all away. And then they return back to the golf course, and then Amy spots out the fountain that's on at night. And then suddenly, Amy was dancing, then did the split. Wow. Just wow. Humphrey and the others arrived to see the pups with Amy. After seeing them, everyone began to get shocked when seeing Amy, as it's like they've never seen a dinosaur before. So later they explained everything from what Amy explained to the pups about that she needs help. So they later decide to accept the request. And so the Diggers has brought reinforcements as they are all at the sacred burial, which those humans are a bunch of copy and pastes now that I'm looking at this movie again. And I thought B-Movie was similar on some of the human copy and paste designs. Later, the wolves are making noise to distract the humans while trying to scare them off. But later, the plan failed as they continued digging. And then suddenly, they woke up the T-Rex. And we get a Jurassic Park reference from being chased by the T-Rex while seeing the mirror on from behind while they're trying to escape from the truck. As they escaped, and the T-Rex went back to the other human, and I guess it ate him, or he escaped as well. Then later, they got an idea on getting the T-Rex's attention by chasing it while waiting for the light to open. And then suddenly, we get this fountain dance again. When I first time saw this couple of times on the dancing part, I felt like I was hallucinating, like I'm watching a fan animation, especially with the dancing part as well. The light shines, they escorted the dinosaurs to the burial, they spent their last time seeing Amy while bonding before they had to go back. So later Amy spinned around using her tail again after Claudette's plan. As Amy tripped the T-Rex to the burial, Amy says farewell to the pups and the others as they go to the light. The caribou covered the hole with big rocks to fill it. Then turns out all of the humans survived. Then they learned to never disturb nature as they did the right thing, is cover the whole entire burial as it's now sealed. And they decided to go back to Jasper after all that they went through. I still think this one is not quite good now that I think about it. Just wow. I can see where everyone is coming from on how they say this one is the baddest one, along with the 8th one, which, if I recall correctly, that this one's way worse than this one. But to me, I just have no words on looking back at this one. But honestly, the music is alright, I'll give them that. So now we just got 2 more movies to go and we'll finally conclude this. I don't know what I want. I'm trying to figure out myself. Don't know what's on the road. Oh god, no! Is this Sherry going 1, 2, 3, 0, 7?